are very, very interested in learning about about hypnosis, but you do more than just hypnosis. You apply some of the other studies that you have done, and also you perform something called hypnopuncture.
That's
Perhaps you
right.
want to tell us a little bit about that. Hypnopuncture.
Yes. Hypnopuncture is very interesting. And actually, I started doing that over 20 years ago when I met this, back then, just like anybody, 20 years ago, a younger man who did acupuncture, and we worked together. And we realized we had one specific, or I had a client who was an older man who couldn't really relax. He had a lot on his mind because his wife had been ill for many years, and there was a lot of stress, so he could not relax. And somehow we came up with the idea, and I go, why don't you go in, put some of the needles, do some acupuncture for his body to relax. And then I went in after, and it was quite amazing. He finally was able to relax the body. And for anybody that knows, when you need to relax, when you want to meditate, yoga is one of the ways to relax the body to go there. Well, with hypnosis, we need to relax, and because it is going into that meditative state. So when your body doesn't relax, your mind doesn't relax. So we need to get there. So with this approach, it worked great. And we did it for quite a few years. And recently we were, working out of different office, but we're back together and we're actually doing hypnopuncture again. And everybody benefits from it. Not just those who is difficult to relax. It works for everybody because at some point or another, it gives you, we kid around, we call it the turbo, it's extra, power to relax. You really turn up all these buttons for your body to really relax. Anybody that comes to do hypnosis knows that the first session is probably, if I want to say the words, and I don't like to use it, the most difficult. Why? Because your conscious mind, as you're sitting there trying to relax, is thinking, wait a minute, is this how it's supposed to feel? Should I feel this? I know my body's there, but it feels so heavy, which is relaxed. Or, I'm feeling some tingling. Is that normal? Oh, I just heard the truck go by. You can't help it but come in and out and think. But still, people do relax on the first session for sure. Once you come to the second session, now the person is already used to me, the office, the chair, what it is. And, the induction, as we call it, is so much faster and easier for that matter. So obviously when we add the acupuncture and the body relaxes right away, then, it speeds everything up, and also the how deep you go.
Mm-hmm. So it's also known that acupuncture by itself does relax the person. Those needles have that power, but the mind won't stop. So it makes total sense what you say, to be able to go on a subconscious state that will allow us to fully relax and get the full benefits of having those needles, those applied to the how do you call them, meridians, I think.
Yeah, the different energy points, yes.
Exactly, and be able to get the full effect, of acupuncture. I mean, one can only think of other possibilities that you could use it. No, I guess you're not in full control of your body, but I would certainly think that maybe do yoga. that would be another extra effort.
It's
No.
with hypnopuncture, the beauty is that it is so quick.
Mm-hmm.
It is fast, because it works on those energy points. Aside from that, depending on why the person is coming in, Dr. Newman approaches the person also, you know, if there's a lot of tension on the neck, if the person has certain aches, or, you know, whatever's going on in the person's life. With acupuncture, a lot can be addressed. So we're combining these two modalities. And while the acupuncture is working on that energy points on the body, the physical body, you know, and I go into the unconscious, you know, it's like a double whammy. You know, we're really working on, you know, whether you need to allow the pain to go, or whatever emotional things you're holding on, or, you know, there's so much that can be worked at that level, because the body is already doing something else. It's working on a condition that needed to be worked. And so the person is already improving on top of what we're doing with hypnosis.
Mm-hmm. So I wonder who starts with the session. Do you start first relaxing and having the person go on through the whole relaxation before applying the needles?
Actually, I usually see the client first, and I usually like to do just a regular session without the acupuncture. So I do get to know the person, and the person gets to know me, and I get a good chance to explain how hypnosis works, how hypnosis is going to work for this person, etc. So I like to do that session first. And then on the second session, of course, the person has met Dr. Newman, and now we proceed where the person comes in. I ask how the person did with the initial short hypnosis induction and all that, how the week went. You know, the person usually was already better relaxed and maybe even slept better. And then after about 5-10 minutes of a little conversation, follow up, then Dr. Newman comes in, and he then proceeds with the needles, and then we leave, and then Dr. Newman steps out, and we give the person anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes to just lay on the massage table that they lay on with the needles, and we let them relax, nice and comfortable. Some music is playing. It's really nice, and for the person just to relax. And then after that, then I come in, and then we proceed to continue with the hypnosis part of it. And so the person is already really nice and comfortable and relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
So we're talking with María-Pilar González. She is with beaconhypnotherapy.com. She is in Miami, in South Miami. And the number to call is 305-595-1699. You can always ask for her information, or visit us at iam.net, where we have a directory of professionals in holistic therapies. So what would be the most common uses or reasons for people to think of this combined therapy? I guess, or assume, weight loss would be one of them?
Weight loss could be one of them, yes. There really is much to be done, because again, hypnosis can work on a lot. And the point is, if you really can't go into a deeper state, or you really can't, or it's difficult for you to relax, the acupuncture in addition will really help, which means then the effect of what we're trying to do is faster, and we really can do, you know, it's speeded up, so to say. But because with acupuncture, you can help change also the body, hormonal and things like that, for weight loss, for sleeping, de-stressing, so many other things. When we combine them both, again, you know, you get so much more effect out of it, because the needle works, the acupuncture works already, you know, on that part of the body as well. So it's a quicker process then at that point. But weight loss, stress, anxiety, pain management even, okay? Because sometimes when people have gone through years of pain, you know, pain makes your body be completely tense, and sometimes the body doesn't even remember what it felt like not to be in pain. It's just a normal process of life. So when we do this kind of work, the body begins to, bring down that pain with the acupuncture, and then the person relaxes, maybe for the first time, is not thinking about the pain. And so as we then proceed with the hypnosis, the person can go back and remember, wait a minute, what is it when my body actually relaxes? Because, I have people here that come in and I relax them. Most people go in. And then I do what we call the muscle test, the arm testing, where the person is sitting there and I take the arm and, and let it drop. And the person is like that. And I'm like, no, your body, your arm should drop. And it doesn't, they're holding it and go, let go. And they're totally like, no. And they're not dropping the arm. They're tense. And they laugh and they're like, I'm sorry. And I go, it's okay. You're not the only one. But it's amazing how people don't realize how tense you can be all the time. It's not an extreme, but even a little bit and never really let go, feel that just weightlessness is amazing when you can do that. So again, with the acupuncture, that is, you don't have to think, hey, let it go. Hey, let it go. No, the needles do that for you, kind of a thing. It helps in that. So then when we continue with the mind, hey, it's so much easier.
So I'm thinking, while I hear you, that perhaps there could be other uses for hypnotherapy and medical purposes, like every time there's a surgery, people need to go under, go downtime with anesthesia, but they usually go very tense to those appointments. It could also help to have someone next to you, aside you, like helping you and becoming hypnotized.
When there is such things as hypnobirthing, and which means you use hypnosis for birthing. And this is nothing new. This has been going on for years. What happens is that often here in hospitals, unless I'm a friend or family member, or specifically am asked to go into the surgery room, you're not allowed to go in and accompany the person, but you can teach the person what to do. And so as you enter or go to then the procedure, your mind is already relaxed. You're already set up to relax and you have your own procedure. I've done this. Actually, my kids did it many years ago. They had to have their wisdom teeth out. And my son didn't care so much about it. He was easygoing, but my daughter was much more nervous. And so I taught him how to do this. So she plugged herself in with some music. In the waiting room, she was already just relaxed and thinking. She put herself in the zone. She walked in, she sat down, she was plugged in. She didn't connect with anything around her. She was just relaxed. So as the doctor came in and did the anesthesia, she was already relaxed. She was in her place. And afterwards, when they were, bringing her back out, and she was so relaxed that I remember the nurse saying, okay, honey, I know it's time to go. I know you love it here, but it's time for you to come out and to get going, right? And she was so relaxed that it took her a little bit to come, and it was just local anesthesia, but she was definitely hypnotized, and I taught her how to do it herself. Just recently had an older woman who was going through surgery as well, and it was a bit more of a bigger surgery, but she always was afraid of the anesthesia and everything that they give you. And she was also a little fragile, so she started coming to see me so she would be not as anxious. She almost wouldn't do it, and she had to do this procedure, right? So we did a few sessions, and again, just setting her up, making her play the whole scenario in her mind, reassuring that, the doctor, she was very confident. Again, building the confidence and allowing her that, okay, when you're there, going through a few ways for her to think, go to a place, imagine where you are, just forget where you are, but you go within. And she told me after the surgery, she came back and and she said, thank God for what we did, because I was able, even while I was waiting, to relax. I kept repeating the words. And even the doctor who knew her, who knows her for some years, told the daughter, wow, your mother did very well. I was surprised how at ease she was. And obviously, when you're at ease, you have less complications. Actually, the anesthesia works better. And as the anesthesia works better, you need less, obviously. The recuperation time also is, the procedure works better, and recuperation time is a lot less. I had another person many years ago, she had to have all her teeth pulled to have, work done on her mouth. And she had heart condition, she was overweight. And again, she was afraid because of the whole procedure. And she was afraid of going to the dentist and having all this done to begin with. And we worked the same way. And we told her, when you're there, just tell your own mouth, look, you're going to be really well. And this is for the better of me. And I allow the teeth to come out. And, I'm only going to bleed as much as, just as little as I will need. I don't need to do a lot of bleeding. I forget, this is probably 18 years ago. But we did all this. Afterwards,
so basically you were working with affirmations.
Affirmations, visualizations are very important, because in this case, again, because of her high blood pressure and a lot of that, she was afraid of the bleeding. After the surgery, the doctor told her, the dentist, he goes, wow, you did very little bleeding. That's what we said. And it's amazing, because the doctor didn't know what we had done or what she was playing in her mind. And yet the body does respond according to what you say. So we've got to be careful when we do these procedures, how we think, what we're telling ourselves. It's very important. Now with the COVID even, I often wonder how many people have just a little bit of a runny nose or a cold and work themselves up to an extreme. I actually know someone who did that, and then they couldn't breathe, went to the hospital. They were going to do a trachea, open up his throat to put a breathing tube, and he freaked out and said, no, I'm not going. I'm going home. Give me the papers. I'm going home. Went home, relaxed, and started just taking some, more holistic, eating better, taking vitamins. And it really wasn't that COVID. It wasn't.
Exactly.
He just worked himself up to an extreme.
He was anxious.
Yes.
Basically.
Exactly.
And, we let fear become a phobia. And I mean, it's just an opinion, but I think people get more sick of COVID from the fear of getting it than the virus itself, But again, hypnosis has it's the first thing that comes to mind when we are talking about fears and how to face them, how to treat them. So we're so happy to count on you, Maria-Pilar, to have you as a member of IAM, and always giving us this incredible information every Monday at this time. We're coming to you from Instagram, but we're going to be also uploading this to the other platforms. And I'd like to remind you that Maria-Pilar is in Miami, and she is with Beacon Hypnotherapy Institute. The webpage is beaconhypnotherapy.com, and her phone number is 305-595-1699. She is fully bilingual. Well, actually, trilingual, because you also speak German.
Yes, that's right. I've had a few clients in German, actually, which is interesting. It's neat. But
so
yes.
You're able to go on through a hypnosis session in German. You are also.
Yes, I've done it. I'm not as fluent in certain terms, but obviously it's a matter of looking up a few words just because I don't use them every day. But you know, it's, yeah, I've done it. It's very interesting.
So you must feel like Freud doing that.
The interesting thing is that I have done, you know, regressions on people, and in a couple of cases, the person was German. And so I proceeded to ask and speak in German, and the person sitting in the chair in this lifetime doesn't know a word of German. So they would answer, though, the correct thing. So they were understanding my German, just respond in Spanish or in English. But I could speak German, and the past life part, unconscious mind, was understanding. It's so mind-blowing, I'm telling you. It's like amazing. It really is.
You break all the barriers here. It's
and it's not mind-blowing, you know.
Well, actually, that happened to me. I went through a past life regression session, and I started speaking words that I couldn't understand, and they were Dutch.
Oh, nice.
And it had to do with a life that I lived in I'm not sure, do you call Dutch Holland, basically, or that?
Yeah, it's Denmark, Holland, Denmark. It's Dutch, yeah.
Exactly. So
it's Holland, yeah.
I had a life there, and it was recorded, and I can hear myself saying some words. It's amazing. It's amazing. So we are here in I am, and you will have an open, I mean, you're always open for booking. And how about, I know I've asked you this several times before, but are you open to exploring remotely this? Like, have you done it?
Yeah, we've done remotely. I have people that visit Miami, but infrequently. They live in the islands. And so, you know, we met maybe personally once or twice and every so often, but in between, you know, we go on the, you know, online, and we do sessions online. I do live coaching, so it goes very much hand in hand with this. Also, as you were saying, this works because it's all in the unconscious, as you can see. Just like you remember languages that you may have learned 20, 30 years ago, it's there. You're just consciously not as fluent, but it is there. Once you go, it happened to me with French. I haven't used French in who knows how long, since high school. And yet going back to France after a few days, it comes back. You know, I can communicate. It's there, and I'm surprised myself, but it is all there. So if we allow our unconscious to open, imagine, you know, there is no limit. And the limit is really ours, because we use just a little bit of that part of our mind. And then when we get older, we say, oh, I can't learn another language. I can't learn violin. I can't learn an instrument. Why not? See, it's just like the suggestion that we give ourselves that, oh, I think I'm sick. I think I'm sick. Yeah, now you're sick, because now you've told you my throat is hurting, my throat is hurting, my throat is hurting. And the same happens with anything we want to learn. I'm too old. I can't do this. Well, says who? And I'm living proof that I've done more since my late 30s than I ever did before, because I used to be a big chicken, as they say. And I've realized through this practice that I set the limits on myself, whether it was rock climbing or, you know, snorkeling. And I would have never done that. I couldn't do that when I was in my 20s and younger. And yet after, you know, you learn and you realize I limited myself. So become hypnotized to become unhypnotized.
Yeah, I actually heard that once. The real hypnosis is happening here.
Yep.
And we need to get unhypnotized to be in touch with our true self, basically. Exactly. So it's all very, I mean, it's mind-blowing, and as we literally mind-blowing, and we have this opportunity to to have at the tip of a call to get in contact with Maria-Pilar to set an appointment and start experiencing all these wonderful services that she provides, and you can just visualize a better life if you consider hypnosis. So she's available, and you can always contact her. Maria-Pilar, we always thrilled to have you and get to know all these wonderful possibilities. The power of the mind, the power of the will, no, and basically just letting yourself come through all these veil, I would say, of fears and all these things that are not belonging to us, to our true self. So we do appreciate your time, and we hope we will contact you again next week.
Yes. We'll see you next Monday.
In the meantime, yes. In the meantime, make sure you contact Maria-Pilar. Make sure you follow her on her Instagram handle. It's Beacon Hypnotherapy Institute. You see it right there. Beacon Hypnotherapy Institute, all together. You can follow her, or you can call 305-595-1699. Maria-Pilar, big kiss for you. Thank you so much.
See you soon. Till soon. See you next week. Be
All right.
well. Take care.
See you guys very soon.
Bye-bye.